try and find. So I'm gonna try a speed paint the crew for this Cathay lantern. Because annoyingly it needs to be done in many sub-assemblies. Balloon, basket, yeah, it's mad. So I couldn't really glue it together. Yeah, relatively annoying. Okay. So I want a red and black Cathay scheme. So I'm gonna smash them out. Smash them out in the most basic paint scheme I can do. Apologies for how white these look, because they are, the camera's picking up the whiteness and it makes it really bright. Hello, buddy. I've not been on for a while. How are you doing? Not been doing much in the way of recording stuff. Admittedly, I haven't really been doing too much painting. I don't think. I think the last thing I did was some Space Wolves. So, yeah, no one's missed anything from me, I don't think. Oh, I restrict myself to 1 cup of coffee now in the morning, and that's it. I was drinking way too much. So my plan is to get the most basic of paint jobs done on these guys, so that I can glue them into the basket. And hopefully leave enough room. It's the lantern, the big floaty balloon for Cathay, for Old World. I just happen to have it. It's all broken into sub-assemblies at the moment. So hang on, let me finish this little bit here and I'll show you. Just do that. Yeah, so let's move the balloon back there. So the crew, these guys aren't going to be on bases. They need to all be broken off their bases. They're only on bases for the painting purposes. But yeah, this thing, so I've had to speed, yeah, the new one. I've had to super speed paint that just to get it enough. I haven't done this top bit yet, which holds the thing on because the crew need to go in there. And then there's a big balloon, which isn't going to fit on the camera. But yeah, the crew need to go inside here. But there's this chap, which is the like character model who can be on foot or in balloon. So what I did is this bit's hollow-ish. So I've glued a really big magnet into the inside front bit, and I've stuck a little magnet on this guy's foot. So he'll just plop in the front there. And it'll just stand up. And hopefully he will stand up. Well, it won't really matter too much because the crew will be all glued into their positions. And then this chap will fit in whatever space is left. So yeah, that's the idea anyway. It's really annoying because a guy did a video online that was just like, oh, yeah, I've glued this dude in, and like he just puts him in, but he doesn't actually show you how magnetized. Doesn't actually show you how he magnetized him in the slightest bit. So the video was good up to that point. I was just like, cool, thanks for sharing. So yeah, it's quite annoying though having to like paint it enough to be able to assemble it. I'm not a fan of having to paint things before they're fully assembled. So we'll go in with a basic paint scheme. So we'll go to this level basically. If you can see him, I don't know. Hang on, let's try and focus that because that's just a blob. Yeah. So we're going to try and get them to that sort of level, and then glue them in. The most like basic I can be asked to do. And then we will maybe make them a bit prettier, depending on what you can see. That's the other thing, is I don't know what you'll actually not be able to see, and I refuse to paint something that no one's going to actually be able to see. That's why I don't do the insides of vehicles. I don't see the point. Just wasted time. I'm not really painting this because I want to paint it either at the moment. Of all the troops and stuff to paint, I'm painting it because I want to use it. I don't mind playing games with unpainted models, but I can't put it together unless it's painted. So I'm having to paint them before I've even started the troops. I think that's what he's going to have in black. So I'm just literally rushing this. We've got Flesh Terrors Red and Black Templar currently over Grey Seer base. And I would have Xenophiled them or something, but again, I'm trying to speed it, so I don't even bother with that. Literally hand brushed on a bunch of Grey Seer. Oh, I did dry brush them a little bit white, but that's only because I was doing something with some white paint and I had some. But that's the only reason they got dry brushed. I'm not doing too badly, to be honest. I think that's the standard British response to any time anyone asks you how you do. Admittedly, I do have a bad back, a bad neck, or shoulder blades. I don't know where it is. So, yeah, but yeah, not too bad. Shop's the shop, to be fair. The shop could be doing better, but we've got some Pokemon shenanigans and stuff starting up here, so we'll see. But yeah, so my bad back thing was quite interesting, actually. Not that it's really model related. It probably is, though, because it's probably the way I sit. I have pins and needles in my arms and hands, like, a lot. Like, basically on a regular basis. So I went to the doctor because someone said, oh, it's probably a trapped nerve. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about, trapped nerve? And the doctor was just like, yeah, sounds like a trapped nerve. You got to go and have a CAT scan or a CT scan or whatever you want to call it. And I was just like, what the? So yeah, that was a bit weird. So I've got to go and have like MRI or whatever the hell, the thing where you go in the machine and it buzzes and all my metal's got to be taken out. Well, that's madness. So I need to check to see if it's... I don't know. Check for a trapped nerve. Very strange. Yeah, I mean, my chair is not very good. I'm not even on a chair. I'm essentially on a stool currently. I've got one leg like up near my waist, like kneeling against the edge of my desk. I sit in the worst possible way. I really should invest in a decent chair. Not good. Not good at all. I have no idea what colour this is supposed to be, so it's going to be black for a minute. Yeah, I suffer from a bad lower back, but the fact that I've now got a bad upper shoulders sort of area is hilarious. So definitely, if you're younger, look after your back, because it's true what they say. Once it's gone, it's gone. I am fooked nowadays. God, this is messy. This is messy. It should make sense though. It should make sense once I've got this step down. I've got some dry brushing and some dicking about to do, and it should look better. And I will pick out the red in a slightly different colour, maybe Wazbaka red or something, I don't know. Cannot comment on how shit this is until I've at least done some work to them. Because currently it is just slapping paint on. Reserve the right to say that it's shit. And you know, what's better than watching someone slap paint on a nearly £100 model and possibly fuck it up? I'll do it so you don't have to. Trust the process. Yes. It possibly is only my many years of painting that's stopping me from freaking out about how bad this is at the moment. Yeah, you just when it comes to big expensive models, just crack on and get it done. There's nothing worse. I think I've got people that come in the shop who are like, "Oh yeah, do you remember that like Magnus I bought off of you like 2 years ago? Yeah, it's still in box. I'm just scared to paint it." So why the fuck did you buy it? Sell it on. Buy it when you're ready to paint it then. Right. Okay, let's have a look. I reckon the first one's probably dry by now. So let's grab blah blah blah. Let's grab some Dark Reaper and a brush that I don't care too much for. That one will do. Yeah, you'll do. I'm just saying that this one's a bit spooked anyway. So let's go with some Dark Reaper a minute. Bloop. I need a piece of paper. Funny, I've got all these palette pads and stuff, yet here I am with a piece of white paper. Okay, so we're gonna... Well, it is hot in here. It is mega hot. Like the paint is gonna be just drying instantly. So I'm gonna Dark Reaper this Black Templar. Hello, hello.
Hello.
while I hairdryer this, so everyone can hear the hairdryer on YouTube now. I'm sure they want to. Yeah, pretty much just sat around moaning on there, to be honest. Or whinging in some way. Done. Let's have mic back on. There we go. Yeah, no one likes to hear a hairdryer blazing next to a mic. We'll see.
Yeah, just like browsing through like wire painter and everything doing those space balls. And then obviously I noticed that you're.
Yeah, I was painting Space Wolves.
I
was painting Space Wolves a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I was like, oops, this guy.
Safe to say I won't be painting any more Space Wolves because I'm now fed up of painting Space Wolves.
Oh really? Not going to reload or anything?
Nope. No needs to paint him now. The Space Wolf itch has been.
Your version of it.
My Space Wolf itch has been sufficiently scratched now. I have no interest in painting any more of them. No, I've got many old world armies to crack on with, so many. So I'll be doing them.
I've made a lot of the models from the old world look pretty cool.
Yeah, the majority of them are super old, like really old models. It's just the Cathay ones, they're all new, these guys. They're like Chinese army.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's enough. It's not enough. Yeah, I should actually be doing work, but I've decided to do this instead. It's too hot already.
I was going to say, it's roasting.
Yeah, it's not very nice in here. Although it's only 70% humidity in here at the moment, so you know, it's not so bad. Oh, the 80% that it was yesterday.
I was going to say, yeah, yesterday was brutal.
Yeah, it's going to be humid as hell today, though. Still.
But later in the day, it get warmer. As I noticed.
Yeah, it will. It'll pick up. Only about 21 to 20. I think it was 21-ish something today. They said. Right. Done.
Cool. Well, I'll probably
see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I might be in the fourth, yeah. With someone else.
No worries.
If not, I'll take you on the Saturday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah. Cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, bud.
And I won't be a stranger, so.
Have a good one.
Take care, buddy.
Laters. Apologies. Hello, Poseidon Pitchfork. It's you spamming away on the liking the thing. Soz, I was having to talk, as you all were all aware, I'm sure. Right, very dirty highlight on this because we're going to cover it in something else in a second. So, if anyone has only just joined, I am speedily, crappily painting the crew for the Cathay lantern because it has to be done in sub-assemblies, so we can't just glue it together like I want to. Well, could. But it looks like that'd be a really bad idea. So we're going for quick and dirty. I'm sure there's a euphemism there somewhere. So go on Black Templar over Gracie, and then I've very shitly, as I was talking to Kyle then, just been overbrushing with how was it? Dark Reaper. And now I'm going for an incredibly crappy, almost dry brush of Rust Grey. So we're not 100%. Oh, and also this brush is a shite. Like it's a bin brush now, so that's why I'm treating it so badly. It's past its best. So I've already forgotten which one I did. Okay, let's put him there. Was it this one? Yeah, because you can see that hideous bit of rust grey that's on the edge there. Amazingly, some of this paint on this paper is still wet. I don't understand how that's possible. So we're going to get some Wazdaka red, I think, and do the same with the red in a mo. So just quickly do that. See, I do want to use some streaking grime and stuff on the lantern, but now I'm wondering, I think we're going to do that once they're all glued in. That's probably a terrible idea. But I am generally quite well known for my terrible ideas, so let's go with that. We'll go with that. So this guy literally looks like a model that I painted when I was like 10. It's the quality of this dude here. New drop pods. Do you know what? No, I don't think I will. I've got them here, but I can't see any reason I would build them because I don't play 40k. The only way I would have done that is if one of the guys I commission paint for wanted him. So no, I don't think I will. I don't play 40k, and there was no reason for me to paint the Space Wolves, but I wanted to paint the Space Wolves, so I did that. But there's nothing really like, woohoo, let's get these done about the drop pods that makes me really want to bust open a box and do them. Why the want of drop pod painting anyway? They're not the most exciting of models, surely. Or are you just wanting to see what they look like? Okay. What did I say I was doing now? Brown. I need a brown. There's like fucking 30 different browns here to choose from. Let's just go with this one. And they've not just been remodeled slightly, have they? They've been completely changed in the sense that they're no longer they're more like a terrain piece than a vehicle because they've got that bottom part, haven't they? The actual footprint is the same. Given absolutely zero thought to how these rifles are going to be painted, so I'm just going to go with just a generic one. Just go with a generic brown. The worst thing is that these, the wood on these in the picture, the actual box art is being painted really nicely. So I may have to come back and make them look a bit nicer. Oh, I can be super messy with this as well. So that's handy. Yeah, the actual like petal doors, like the way they open, like they're just a fixed footprint. So I mean, assembly of them should be a downside easier, but they're not. They're more of a terrain piece than anything. That's how I look at them anyway. More of a terrain piece than a vehicle sort of thing. Which is, I kind of get it. It's kind of how they should have been to begin with, because there's no reason to make them a vehicle. They were only like they're a delivery method. Oh yeah, he's got no idea where the bird's claws are. Oh, me Janner came out then, didn't it? No idea where the bird's claws. Oh, I can see them. They are Old World, Cathay, like the Eastern faction, the like Chinese faction. These are the crew that go in the lantern, so having to get them painted up first before they can be put in. Right, where is my pot of? There is. I need that in a second. Do you need to paint any Warhammer figures? This is Warhammer. It's Warhammer the Old World. Do you mean Warhammer 40k? Cabbage, you did. I was just being a knob. Yes, I do. Paint 40k, 30k, Legions, Necromunda. I paint whatever I happen, whatever I can be asked to paint at the time. A whim I currently have. I was painting, last time I was painting Space Wolves. What was I painting before that? Goremongers for Kill Team? I think it was Goremongers. I paint more 40k on stream than I do any of the others, to be fair. I've not been on actually very much lately. The weather's been blur, and I just could not be asked. That's weird, because I feel like I must have painted something. Though I will be on stream probably for the rest of the week. I'm trying to get this done. The other reason that I'm trying to get this done super quick is because Jack's got me painting. I've got a commission for a World Eaters / Corn Demon force to do. So I've got a shit ton of blood letters to paint. 3 Forge Fiends. I can't remember what else was in that list. Yeah, I've got to get all the demon half. Oh, I've got Scarbrand to do. So to put it to a vote at some stage, I think, and just say, what shall I paint first? Because, admittedly, it would probably be Scarbrand, but kind of never. I've done a Bloodthirster, so but I've not done the actual Scarbrand model, which obviously has the tatty wings and that, where quite a different guy, slightly different model. Right, I assume that this. What the hell is this? It's a pistol. It does look like a pistol. Oh my god, this looks so bad. It's fine. It's fine. I'm glad my phone's out of focus because you can't actually see just how bad it looks. It will look better. It will. I promise. He says. He hopes. It's wishful thinking. Thing is, I can't do anything else to them until they're all based out in the literal basic colours. So sure that's armour. Armour. Okay. Yeah, was that some resident smackheads walking up the road then? Yeah, I'm going to base all these out real quick, and then I'm going to hit them with a couple shades, and then see how bad they look, and go through and try and clean them up. Not massively looking forward to the fact I'm going to super glue these down either. So my choice is super glue, or I have to scrape off the areas where they're going and use. I could use plastic glue, but I'd have to scrape off the areas, which I don't really want to do. So probably am going to be super gluing them down. What I might do is just super glue them down in the down by their feet, and not anywhere that's actually visible. Getting ahead of myself because that doesn't look like that's going to be anytime soon. As quick as I'm trying to do this, what are we on now? 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes. I've still got to go back through it and clean them all up and everything. Like, why hasn't this guy got a red belt? How did I miss that? So, I think if you do get this model, then I would definitely. Well, we'll see. I'm fairly sure that sub-assemblies is going to be the only way of doing it. I don't even want to think how horrible it would be to paint these guys if I glued them in first. Especially once. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. How would you? I don't even know how you would do it. Honestly, don't. I'll explain in just a moment. Because apparently I can't concentrate on painting and talking at the same time. yeah, there's these little tiny bumps on the outside of the carriage. And when this is attached, yeah, so obviously if the crew, let's just grab one a second. If you slap the crew in there and then put that on top, so you're instantly limiting how much you can get in around the back. But then when you put this on top as well, there's a bunch of, where is it? Yeah, it's that one there. Let's just stick that there for a second. Yeah, there's, let's try and do this without it falling apart. 1, 2, yeah, there's 2 things there, and they come out and they go down to there. There's like these ropes. They're attached down there, and there's one there. I'm assuming this isn't the right way around. It's there, isn't it? Yeah. So there's a rope bit there that goes to there. There's a rope bit there that goes down to there, and it's all the way around. So if you stick the basket topper, if you stick that thing and the actual lantern top onto the lantern and you put the crew in, you're just not getting in there. You do not see that happening at all. Alright, that's completely thrown me off, sorry. What was I doing? I had to look at that then. Right, so this dude's got a peg leg, but I'm assuming it wouldn't normally be a silver peg leg. But then again, who's going to see this when he's actually stood in the middle of the basket? So this guy's supposed to be the unit champ. Yeah, he's basically like the unit champion, or he is the unit champion. I have no idea what he's holding in his hand. I'm going to paint it silver. I haven't got a freaking clue what that is. I think it might be a scroll, but I'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, so this guy's supposed to be the unit champion, and it's not massively easy to see in the instructions where he's supposed to stand. Because you've got the option to put the supreme or the grand strategist, whatever the hell he's called, the character. So because the lanterns is an option for a character mount. So I've put a little magnet inside the lantern base, and I've stuck a magnet on the supreme dude's front foot, so he'll just pop on there. And then the rest of the crew are going to be fixed in position around the edges. I'm fairly sure in the pictures, there's a picture with this guy stood at the back like that. Obviously no base. I'm fairly sure there's a picture of him stood at the back, and then this guy like just in front. And then I think it's like this guy, say, on that side, and this one on that side. So it's going to be really difficult to figure out how the hell they're going to fit in. But there is an option to build like a little brazier on a table, which is what I assume is what's heat in the air to make the lantern blow up. But we ain't putting that in there. That's not fitting. So it will float via, I don't know, magic. Let's just say magic. Right. So. I am going to get the Gracie out again because glutton for punishment. So I've just noticed that these red belts have got essentially string around them. Rope, sorry, not string. You're just not going to hold your belt up with a piece of string. So just going to pick them out because it looks weird and more messy than I'd like, to be honest. How long have I been painting the guys? I mean, the guys we've only been painting while I've been on live, haven't I? Like 40 minutes. I started painting the actual basket in brackets for the lantern yesterday. But it's only been a couple hours work. If you mean how long have I been doing this in general, like 30 years or something, but then I'm not particularly great at it still. So one could say I have not done much in 30 years. Though I would not take these guys as I definitely wouldn't say that these guys were in any way, shape, or form my best work. These blokes are an example of how not to paint, especially with an expensive model. These are, let's see how quick I can get them done so that I can slap them inside the basket. If anybody else was doing this, I would wholeheartedly suggest that you spend a lot more time and effort on them than I have so far. My thanks. I will say that they do not look good and that you're just being nice. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to tell me they look good. They honestly don't. For how long I've done this, they should be a lot better. But as I said, I'm purposely not doing them very well. Let's put it that way. So we're allowed to say that they look shite. There are no feelings to be hurt. Okay, so we need a pot of paint that I don't have to hand. I say to hand. I do. It's kind of to hand. I'll need about 30 seconds. I'll go and grab it. Unless it's behind. It's not behind. Where are you, paints? Sure. How about Evil Sons? We'll go with some Evil Sons and some Wild Sacker Red. My mic fell off. Oh my god, I'm just making a mess everywhere. That's Pink Horror, that's not Evil Sons, for fuck's sake. Okay. Let's shake some paint on my shaker. Gonna go with Evil Sons Scarlet. Go with some Evil Sons and see how bad it is. Shouldn't really be putting this on there actually at the moment, but since they're not solid, we'll be alright. We'll be fine. We're going to tone it down anyway. So I'm going to do essentially what I did with the black blue. Sell my creations. So yes and no. They're generally for the shop for display purpose. And then I will sell them once they've been around long enough and we need the space. So we've just cleaned out a whole bunch of cabinet space. I do need to do a bit more of a culling and there are some more things that need to be flogged off. So just need to look and see what it is that I can bear to part with. Do you think that maybe it's time to get rid of the orcs from the cabinet? So maybe we'll get rid of our 40k orcs. But then all that will happen is I'll be sad and I'll paint more 40k orcs, which is not what I want to do. So just like the blue, it's just some chunky ass picking out bits of red. I'm never going to get in there, am I? Any chance I've got a brush here that isn't completely fucked? Nope, can't bother to find one. Let's just risk it. Be fine. Be fine. Okay. Thankfully, Evil Sons doesn't have the best coverage, so if I do hit any of the darker bits, it will stay dark. My shop, I'm in Plymouth, down in the UK, in the southwest. Right down on the bottom of the UK. One could say the arse end of the UK. Ooh, I've just realised this guy's technically got a two-coloured hat. Oops. I'm going to fix that because this is the guy I don't like the most, so maybe that will change my mind on him. Actually, I don't know if the UK's got an arse end at the moment. The whole place seems to be falling apart, so maybe we're not the arse end anymore. Quite a long way. Well, depends on where you are. Whereabouts are you located? Oh, bollocks, I've just dropped that on the floor. Did I seal that paint up? I did. I did not paint my floor. I need Essex. Oh, see, that's not. I mean, yes, you are far, but it's not. I thought you were going to turn around and say like Australia or something, and then I'd been like, yeah, you are far away. Right, let's quickly fix this hat because I realised he's got a red headband on. He's got a headband on and a pointy hat, so maybe I will like him more then, because currently I don't like him at all. Right. Oh, hello. You've got some boxes to pick up. 3, 1.
But you're watching Countdown now to Australia, aren't you?
It's just on countdown just for summer holidays in general, I think.
Are you doing anything for summer or not?
No idea. Don't know. Probably go camping or something. Depends what the weather's like. Could be shit. This could be the best weather we get now, and it could be rainy for the rest of the year.
It's going to be raining at the weekend, I reckon.
That's right. That's fine. My garden needs it. My pond's currently like emptying itself, so I'll have free water.
It must be hard to use a kid on shit weather.
No, it's not like it was when we were kids. They've got bloody screens and computers and.
When we were kids, it was out on your bike or playing football, or cricket, or playing hide and seek or stuff like that.
I just go dick about in the rain. Nowadays, my kids go, no, I don't want to do that. No, they've got their screens, so they're fine. As long as the internet don't go down. The internet goes down, that's it. There'll be a riot. Probably see you tomorrow. I think I've got more stuff to post.
I'm not on to 2 curls.
Oh well. Have fun. Your day off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers, bud. Like a nice postman. Keep my postman happy. Right. Somehow I managed to miss this person's belt, sash. What do you want to call it? Cummerbund? I don't know what it is. A bit too big to be about. Alright, what was I doing before I distracted myself with the black helmet and the red? I was doing red stuff, wasn't I? So I was picking these out. So I'm only doing this because I need to the contrast paint is left like dots and little bits which haven't been picked out. So I'm quickly just fixing them while slightly brightening it, because in a mow it's all going to get washed with stuff. I don't know what stuff, but definitely some stuff. Not sure what's going on here, so we'll assume that that's a strap for that in the back. I don't know. Assume that's supposed to be red there as well. I think that is as well. It's on it, might be. This year? Oh Jesus, I have no idea how many models I painted this year. Hundreds. It got me wondering now. I can't remember when I started painting the raptors and stuff, but yeah, it must be. Must have painted at least like a couple hundred minis of varying sizes. Well, my shop is, because my shop I sell 40k and GW stuff, so the painting might as well be classed as a full-time thing, because if I'm not, yeah, because I'm basically sat in the shop, so there's no reason for me not to be painting. Okay, where is that gold? Where the hell have I put it? There it is. Yes, the main benefit to me painting in work is that I don't paint when I'm at home, which is what I used to do. So I don't. My hobby is my job now, basically. No, that was way too much gold. I didn't need that much, but whatever. Or maybe we did need that much. I'm gonna do everything that's kind of hanging off them in this colour. We do have dragon's heads to do as well, so. But yes, technically also I'm not just painting my stuff. A couple of years ago someone asked me if I would start some commission painting for them, which I said yeah, why not, and they've just not stopped giving me stuff, so I should probably be doing something that actually makes a decent amount of money, to be honest, because I make very little money. So I should probably just go off and get myself a real job, as opposed to sitting in a shop painting all day. But it's kind of a toss-up of doing something that you enjoy doing and making next to no money, or doing something you don't enjoy doing and making, I'd like to say more money, but a bit more money. Let's just say a bit more money. I feel like these bits on the top here for part of the dragon. We'll just hit that with gold for a minute and we'll see. Right, bag. That looks to me like it should be metallic. So, oh, here we go. Right, we're on to the guy that I don't particularly like. So, let's have a. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just very dependent on. Yeah, we've got kids and things like that, and you can do something if it's generally feels a tiny bit selfish to be doing something that you enjoy doing and not making as much money as you probably could. So you've always got that. There is a selfish sort of factor to it as well, essentially. Brushes am I using? I am using one incredibly, terribly battered GW medium layer brush. And when this brush stops working completely, I will switch them out for a new GW medium layer brush. This brush has been hideously, hideously treated in the past couple of weeks. I'm surprised it's even still functional as a brush. But since we're doing nothing particularly detailed, I can get away with using it for a minute. I don't use humble paints. No. I piss off TikTok telling me that we're not. TikTok seems to think that we're not live and that there's been no activity, even though I'm currently talking to people. So let's get rid of that puzzle piece. There we go. No, Humble's enamel paint, isn't it? Do they do acrylic? I don't think Humble do acrylic. Yeah, I use acrylic paints. Haven't used Humble for probably about 30 years. Back when we used to do scale model, like I think it was scale models, just model kits. I think if I was using Humble enamels, I would be using a synthetic brush, a cheap synthetic brush anyway. Because I do use enamels, because I use AK in like streak and grime and stuff like that, and obviously they're enamel based. They're enamel based? Yeah, they're enamel based. And they will destroy any natural hairbrushes. Right. How did we get? So we've got to get some stringy rope stuff painted. And I'm going to default. Oh god, I put my brush in my mouth and that tastes foul. Yeah. Iron Warriors silver tastes. Nope, not even Iron Warrior silver. That gold. That gold. Scale 75. Yeah. Metal Alchemy. Scale color. That's foul. They need to work on their recipe to make it taste a bit better, please. Oh. Yeah, Mr. Court. Right. Who has some stringy strings? Let's just quickly get these ropey bits painted. Day 2, sir. I feel like these things are like gourds. Like, let's investigate that later. Like they're like gunpowder or water like bottles, but they're like gourds, like vegetables that have been hollowed out or whatever. I don't even know if a gourd's a vegetable. I don't even know if that's the right term, but so I may have painted a vegetable gold. Who knows? God, those strings look terrible. Glad that that's not how they're going to stay looking. And they're not strings, they're ropes. Situation 40k mission cards. 40k mission cards are out of stock. I believe that's the situation, is it not? God knows, GW knows when we will see them back in again. What colour am I painting this bird? They weren't in when I ordered some yesterday, unless they came back in after I ordered. So currently, no. We'll know next week. Okay. Not going to touch the bird for a second because. Um, 07. 07 indeed. Like I've just entered Star Citizen chat. You should encourage your son to paint Warhammer figures. 100%. It's a great thing to do. Except for the money. Well, it's not great for your wallet. Not good for the bank balance. Right, so super thins down. Black Templar contrast paint. So now going back over that incredibly messy black that I've messed about with. Not worrying about anything that's not been painted. Good work, good work. I mean, brush-wise, the Games Workshop ones are expensive enough for me. I don't buy more, like I don't want Winsor & Newtons or Arts Opus or anything like that because I paint a lot and I destroy my brushes. So there's no point in me paying. I mean, GW aren't exactly cheap brushes, so there's no point in me buying super expensive brushes. These do the trick, and if I were to use enamels with them on the black brushes, they'd be destroyed. The white brushes will survive a bit longer, the synthetic ones for GW, and they're cheaper. I do not have any forged things in stock. Sorry, Mr. Court. Jack West has bought them all, and I've got 3 of them to build and paint. What was I saying about the brushes then? Yeah, so GW is as expensive as I'll go because I will destroy them. I do not sit here and clean them out and brush condition them. I've got brush conditioner and I've got brush cleaner. I don't sit here and do that. Hello, WWE thing. How is it? Yeah, it's I've got friends who've had Arts Opus brushes for years, but then they literally paint for like half an hour. They paint for like half an hour a week, so yeah, they can get away with expensive brushes and them surviving. Jack is doing world eaters, yes. They're not lead, no, these are plastic. So no metals. I paint metal every once in a while. Haven't had to paint any metal for a little while. I will be painting metal again soon because I've got some old world orcs and goblins stuff that I need to paint. So there's some metal models there. I'll still stick with acrylic though, not enamel paint. I'll just do a few layers. Hopefully it will look great at some point. He is mostly demons, Jay. So for those that have just joined, I am speedily painting the crew for the Old World Cathay Sky Lantern because it has to be done in sub-assemblies. So messy painting, super messy painting, but we'll see. We will see how good / bad it will be at the end. We've been going for an hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 5 minutes of me waffling on and talking shite. And we're doing 5 crew members, so I've only had to dig the hairdryer out once, but I think I'm going to have to dig it out again in a second. I was hoping that the incredibly warm nature of the shop would speedily dry things up, but the humidity is so high that I don't think that's working that way. I think that's how it works anyway. High humidity, less chance of things drying. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's really humid. Paint shouldn't dry so fast, should it? Right. Super thin down black temper all over that. Not sure I've done that. I just thought, I normally save hairstyles for last because they generally do all different colours, but they're all going to have black hair. It's actually not that sunny out there at the moment. I think they've only given. What time do they give? The only time. What am I talking about? That's because I'm looking at the time. They said it'll be about 21 degrees today. So not as warm. Right. So. Oh, I was thinking when I was saying earlier that I haven't been on stream for a while. It's also because I've been listening to audiobooks, and I can't stream while I'm listening to audiobooks. So, assuming I get copyright infringed or something. Right. Okay. Hairdryer time. So, muting mic, not muting mic. What I do need to do, I need to move some of these minis out of the way. So oh no, shit! Because they're going to go blowing everywhere. Okay. Let's not blow the painty paper across the shop. Right. I think I'm going to mute you guys on. I'm going to mute TikTok. Back in a sec. I'm not going to mute YouTube because only one of you. I don't think that's too loud. Oops. Oh, holy Jesus. That was not nice. I not like having that turned on. Okay. Right, how are we doing? Not too badly. They don't look like complete crap, so that's always a bonus, isn't it? I'm glad he hasn't gone on the Space Wolf bandwagon because I could not be asked to paint them. I painted the army box myself and I'm done with them now. What am I doing? I am throwing myself now because I'm not gluing them in. They are no way at all good enough to go in. I do need to sort out the rope. And the paint that I've just pulled out is absolutely solid. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. I need a mixing something. What have I got I can mix with? Oh, how about this massive? Yeah, that'll do. No, is that paint gone? Yeah, that paint's gone. Okay. New paint needed. New paint required. One moment. Okay, I've got my new paint. It's a bit thin, I'm not used to that. Let's pick someone. Let's pick you. We'll pick on you. Let's switch to a tiny brush. Whoa, that's a tiny brush. I can't even see that. It's like the tiniest bristles ever. I don't feel like I'm going to regret this. The main question should be is why did I decide to paint them yellow? Right, I'm going to go back to the chip brush a sec. Actually, this is a different chip brush, but it's still a chip brush. I really don't need to go to be painting every one of those bits of bumps on the rope out individually. That's effort that does not need to be done. Not when we're probably going to be slapping an enamel wash all over this anyway, so why bother? So that's the other thing is we are going to get covered. So it really is only the ones that have quite a lot of rope showing that I need to do this on. And it doesn't matter that I'm technically removing some detail. I just need there to be brighter bits on the rope. And for it to not be so yellow. Okie dokie. So, what I need to do very quickly is pick out and highlight some skin real quick. What the hell is that going on here? They are not out yet. This is true. They are out on Saturday. But I've had it since almost 2 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks Saturday. No, it's just a shop copy. No, Games Workshop don't like me enough to send me copies of things for free. No, this is store stock. It's our shops. I've seen the videos for the Sentinel. This has been alright so far. Admittedly, I've only seen a couple videos on the actual build for this, and they didn't really go through actually how to like they're essentially like we're talking after the fact, so they didn't do an actual like build along video. But yeah, I was pretty sure even before I watched those videos that it was going to need to be like very heavily sub-assembled, just because of the crew. The main thing that I was worried about really though was how to get the Magister on. it's really annoying because one of the videos, just like the first one that pings up if you Google it on YouTube, I can't remember what the guy's name is. I think it's like the title something like Cathay Conspiracy or something like that, lantern painting or whatever. But yeah, he's his video literally starts with him going through the box of beer, but then nothing to do with the build, and then he literally just goes, "Oh yeah, and I've got the Magister," and he's like, his Magister's painted, and his Magister's on like a scenic, like built-up scenic base, and he's magnetized him. And he's like, "Oh, he's magnetized, and he fits inside the thing," but then he doesn't actually show you or say how he's magnetized it. So I've stuck a magnet on this foot, and then a magnet on that base there, and then the actual lantern basket, this bit's hollow, so I've glued a really big magnet just in underneath that there, and then so this guy will just pop off the magnet at the base, and he will just sit there, and it's only on one foot, so depending on how the crew goes in, because I'm pretty sure crew wise is one guy here, one guy here, one guy back here, and one guy back here, and there's a gap in the middle, which I think you can put a brazier in, but this is the unit champion, so I think obviously none of these guys are going to be on bases, so I think he's going to get glued into the center here, so just behind the strategist guy or Grand Magister or whatever the hell he's called. So I think I'm going to glue him back there, and then there should be room there for crew, and crew. So there's just no room to put the like flaming brazier basket in, which I'm fine with. It just means that I can have a Magister or whatever the hell he is on foot. The basket and the balloon attaches with this piece, so that bit will be glued on top of there. That's going to be fun. And then the basket obviously attaches to the top of that bit there, but I've left it all off because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to paint the crew with the balloon even slightly assembled. Just not going to happen. And I've had to like do the most basic paint job on this just so I can get them in. I don't mind so much afterwards once everything's in. So I've basically got to paint the crew as best as I can. What's that warning that popped up then? Some comments in this live are filtered to protect the community's experience. Okay, interesting. Sure what people would be saying that would mean that would pop up. But yeah, so I've basically got to get these guys as good as I can be asked to make them. Hopefully that little rant then just made sense. Hopefully. Right. What am I up to now? I think I am going to, let's grab a grime of some description. What's this one? Standard streaks? Dark streaks? I kind of want rust streaks, I think. Let's go with rust streaks. Weight? Oh, what? As in weight of the actual top balloon piece on the thingy? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how strict they are. That'd be quite funny though. No, I think it looks like it's going to be fine. I mean, it's got one of the newer big chunky like acrylic bases, so it should be interesting. It's going to be real interesting once it's actually fully assembled. I am a little bit worried about attaching it after painting because I may have to scrape the contact points off or something. I don't know. I want it to be plastic glued as opposed to super glue, so I may have to give it a bit of a scratching and then glue it. I don't know. Right. I'm going to assume that these chaps are dry enough that I can get away with slapping this on. Oh god, I'm ringing now. I'll be right back a second. Hello. I will unmute all my mics. Right. Yes, I just had to take a quick phone call, and now I'm back. So, right, what have I been autopiloting while I've been on the phone? I have indeed. So I'm rush. What am I doing? Rush streaks. Yeah, AK Interactive rush streaks. So we are going for a full slap it all over. Now I feel like this is going to dry fast as hell, because I don't think enamel washes give a crap about the humidity. I don't think they're going to really care too much. I need to just double check that I've not left any wet contrast paint anywhere. Yeah, that should be fine. So let's slap this on and then take it all off.
I'm bearing gifts for you.
Thanks. Both of them. That's just gifter. You said gifts. You said gifts.
A gift.
That's one box. Thank you very much. A box of boxes. Cheers. Alright. Who knows? Who knows what this is going to look like? Let's just whack it on and see. Still undecided on what colour that bird's going to be. Be real boring and just make it brown. Like a female peacock. Just boring ass brown bird. Right. the nice thing about this is also it goes in all of the recesses, goes in all the little bits that like of white and shit that were still showing up from the contrast, that the contrast hasn't gone into like those gaps. But then when I take it off, those bits that it filled in aren't going to come away because they were hard to get areas. So technically it fills in all of the bits that I've missed. Oh, not my phone source. Okay. It's probably going to be hairdryer time again, isn't it? Well, before I do that, let's... Oh, might be a good idea to actually get some white spirit. Or mineral spirits if you're American. Actually, it might not just be America. I've only heard Americans say mineral spirits. Right. White spirits have been acquired. Where are my sponges? Oh shit, where are all my sponges gone? Where's my bag of sponge? That's annoying. So I have a whole bag of little makeup sponges somewhere specifically for removing enamel washes. I see absolutely none of them. Even though I have bags of hundreds of them. Huh. They've gone walkies. Okay, we'll have to use big chunky sponges. I really don't want to do that, but I can't be asked to invest too much time in looking for the other ones. So, whatevs is what it is. I will just rip up some little bits of sponge. I guess sponge is more expensive than the sponge that I would normally be using. Needs must. Alright, where's my tweezers? Ugh. How annoying. Okay. I am just going to very quickly hit these with a hairdryer. They are drying relatively fast, but I don't want them to be super dry. White spirits literally looks like a dirty shot. Yeah. Oh, it's way too warm. Way too warm to be putting a hairdryer on. Alright, can't be asked to hit the last one too much because at the end of the day it's getting more drying time than this one here. Right, we're going to be able to do this with one of these crappy sponges. Probably. Fine. I mean, I'm not actually doing this like I would normally with proper streak and grime sort of stuff, as in like taking it off only in the place I want to. I am actually going for full removal. I just want it to stay in the crevices. Generally like the finish afterwards as well. It does seem a bit stupid to put this on just to basically remove it all. I mean, I can't remove it all, that's impossible. I'd have to actually get in there with a brush and soak it and brush out to fully take it off. Hey, I've stained the bird. Whoopsies. Never mind. Also, stains my hand. Shkadoo. That's way too much. Way too much white spirits. I am actually going to probably end up pulling this pretty much all off with it that wet, but whatever. We can always go in and do it again. Not you. You're still much wetter than the other one. This isn't painting, this is wiping off a model. No idea what's supposed to be in this box. Looks like a sack of treasure. I'll have a look at that before we glue it down. Right. Let's get rid of that. There. New piece. Ah, box. So this is basically the end of the shittiest bit of painting. I'm actually going to have to go in and start painting them properly after this, which is annoying, but hour and 30 minutes essentially to get them spaced out. Now I've hit one of those choice moments now where it's like you could in theory glue them in and then only paint the things that I can see, or carry on and not really know what's been painted that really doesn't need to be painted. Also, got to paint these gun butts, bodies, whatever. I'll paint them again because they're way too light. They hardly even look like they're brown. They look grey. I think it's because I used rattling grime. I wasn't really paying attention to what colour I used. I thought it was a brown, but it wasn't a brown. It was like a brown grey, browny black. I've got to redo all of the metallics as well. So okay, so there's basically no point me gluing them in just yet. Because I won't be able to reach the bits that I need to reach. Let's got all these spare bits of foam. Oh, I was going to say put them somewhere safe, but I've just dropped them all on the floor, so I guess that's a safe place. Right, so we're at a point where they... let's dry it and then we'll have a look. Soz for the noise again. So just dry one quickly. Right, so yeah, we're at that point now where it's, I mean, they need to be varnish sealed. They do need to actually dry properly as well. But so I could, in theory, glue them in. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to fix all of the metallics and everything before I go down that route. I think they're at an acceptable level. It's not bad. Hour and a half. Hour and a half to get them to the point where, and if they were rank and files. Oh shit! That's really likes to focus on my thumb, doesn't it? Yeah. If they were rank and file, you'd be like, cool, just a few details to pick up, and then you'd be done. But yeah, they should be okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow them to dry. Maybe I'll give them. It's 11 o'clock now, so I'm going to do is I'm going to give them an hour, half an hour maybe. So I'll be back. We'll come back on either past or at 12 o'clock and carry on. Because I want to give them enough time to cure out a bit before I go and start messing with them anymore. So hopefully we'll have them glued in today. I think we will have them glued in today, but we'll do it all on stream. So either 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and I'll see you all then. Cheers.